This is Jonathan Gavoni reporting here from Dallas. We're at the Adidas Nations Camp 2008 here with Antonio Daniels. How's everything going today?
Good. We haven't done a lot yet today. You know, obviously it's a blessing to be here. Guys are very excited about the opportunity to interact with everybody at Adidas Nations, bringing different cultures together, different ethnicities together. We all have the same thing in common. That's basketball.
Right. How have you spent your summer so far? What have you been getting up to since the season ended?
Well, just a lot of training, different working out, a lot of running, weightlifting, boxing, all the same things I do in the summertime to try and stay in shape. Because, you know, the older you get, the easier it is to fall out of shape. So I try not to fall out of shape at all, you know, continue to work hard. And that way when training camp opens, you know, we go overseas this year, so when training camp opens, I'll be 100% ready to go.
Anything that you can add to your game at this point in your career? Anything new that you're trying to develop?
You always have to add different things to your game. Every year, you know, if once you stop adding things to your game, it's time to retire. It's time to quit. And I'm not to that point yet, so I'm very comfortable in my situation in Washington. I love the organization, love the team that I'm with. If we can stay healthy, I think we're capable of doing a lot.
Right. Any added pressure this year now that, you know, a really good backup in Roger Mason is gone and you might have to play more minutes? Like, what do you think about that?
Me play more minutes?
Yeah.
I played 34 minutes a game last year.
Right.
I can't play any more than that. No, not for me individually. There's no pressure. I don't think there's any pressure for us as a team. You know, it's a team whose core group has been together for, you know, going on 4 years now. So the only added pressure is that we have to put on ourselves to play better. We don't have to start from block one, which is always an added bonus. You know, you come in with a veteran-oriented team, and the leadership is there, the scoring is there. Now we have a defensive foundation, so we're capable of a lot.
Right. During the NBA, I mean, the NBA season is so long, 82 games in preseason and playoffs. Just from a fan's perspective, I'm curious, do you guys have, is there any kind of pacing that you guys have to do? I mean, you've been through it so many times.
No, I think a lot of it begins, that's what the summer's for. That's what the off-season is for. You know, you have to know how to maintain your body, eat right, rest appropriately. You know, so that way when the season comes around, your body's not dead, your body's not tired. I mean, eventually it's going to happen, you're going to get tired, but the longer you're in this league, you learn how to go about things in a different way, you know, how to rest the right way, what to do and what not to do. So it's a grind. It is definitely a grind, but it's a blessing.
Right. I'm curious about you individually. You were drafted in '97, right? Top 5 pick, very high expectations. Do you consider yourself more of a point guard or a shooting guard at this point in your career?
I'm definitely more of a point guard because I have a pass-first mentality.
Right.
I'm not the type of guy that's going to go out there and try and score 20 points a night. At this point in my career, I'm at that point where I want to do whatever it takes for a team to win.
Right.
Sometimes that means score, sometimes that means pass. It always means defend. Don't turn the basketball over. Always when you check in the game, you want to be someone that's solid, you know, that can get the job done on both ends of the floor.
Any goals individually as far as you're concerned this upcoming
honestly,
season?
And maybe this is a downfall for me, but I never set goals individually.
Right.
You know, my only individual goal is obviously to have a better season than I did a year ago and to stay healthy and injury-free. I'm more along the lines of collective goals as far as our team, organization goes.
Any thoughts on the Olympics here, USA basketball, or something that you're going to be watching?
Oh, I'll definitely be watching. You know, definitely. Obviously, they're representing the NBA, they're representing our country over in China, so it's exciting. It's exciting. It comes around once every 4 years, so. You know, plus I think we have to restore the dominance that we once had.
Right.
And I think that edge has been taken off a little bit. So it'll be good to watch and see if we can kind of get that edge back again.
What do you see as some of the keys to coming away with the gold?
I don't know. Outside shooting has always been big because everybody's going to zone us.
Right.
Nobody's going to play us man-to-man. Everybody's going to zone us. So outside shooting and just the overall camaraderie of the team.
Right.
How well they play together. The chemistry. On and off the floor, which I feel like if you're over there that long, I feel like the chemistry will definitely be there. So I think the biggest thing will probably just be outside shooting and how well they adjust to seeing different zones.
Seems to be a lot more interest these days in international basketball. How do you view the kind of recent trend, I guess, of you guys getting up and leaving? Not maybe the most high-profile names, but a guy like Josh Childress, for example. I think that's kind of a significant development. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean that's
kind of a culmination of this.
It kind of shows what the NBA is all about. It's a business. Basketball is a business, and now it's not just the NBA business. It's not just a American business. It's a global business. So now you have teams overseas that are getting into the whole bidding process, which it's like we said, basketball is global now.
Right.
It is no longer just the teams that are in the NBA. It expands way beyond that now. And to each his own. To each his own. If a guy feels like that's the best situation for him, it's a business. A lot of times teams do what they feel like is what's best for them.
Right.
As a team and as an organization. So if the individual feels like that's what's best for him, I think he needs to take advantage of that. More power to him.
Right. In terms of mentoring, which is what they brought you guys in to do here, what are some things that you can bring to some of the kids here in terms of, from your experience?
Well, I think you just touched on it. The biggest thing that I think we all can bring is our different experiences. Obviously Desmond's will be different than mine. Mine will be different than Antoine's. Antoine's will be different than TJ's, and so on and so forth. But we've all been in the NBA. We've all gone through our ups and downs. We've all gone through different things. So we all bring something different to the table that we can share with these kids and hopefully give them something to take back that will help them in the long run.
How about flashing back to when you were their age? What kind of player were you?
I wasn't nearly as good.
Right.
I can tell you that. I wouldn't have been at a camp like this.
Right.
I was a late bloomer, so to speak. So it's good to see how much further that kids have come. They're bigger, they're stronger, they're faster, and hungrier because the NBA is that much closer for them.
Right.
When I was in high school, I wasn't thinking about the NBA.
Right.
I was making sure my mother didn't have to pay for college.
Right.
And I would have been content with that. But through the blessings of God, I've made it this far.
Trade happens. So finally, tell us a little bit about Richard Jefferson.
It's a great opportunity for us to be here. I'm excited about the opportunity to be here and to get my personal experiences, and hopefully I can help some of these kids out.
Some people might not be familiar with your story. You went to Bowling Green, right? How did that play into? I mean, you went to Bowling Green and became a top 5 pick. That's not a typical route to making the NBA at all.
No, I mean it's. Obviously, I went through a lot of different things at Bowling Green that eventually altered my future. The passing of my brother. So many different things that I went through there. Had a great coach in Jim Larinaga. A lot of hard work. A lot of personal attention, which eventually led to being drafted by Vancouver.
Right. Where do you see yourself 5 years from now?
5 years from now, I'm still unsure. Either coaching at some level or doing broadcasting at some level.
Right.
One way I'll be involved in basketball. I'm passionate about it. I've done it my whole life, and it's in my heart. So you can't just retire from basketball and just completely walk away from it. So I still want to stay involved in the game of basketball one way or another.
Last question, since he has a lot of fans, and I'm kind of curious myself, what's it like to be teammates with Gilbert Arenas?
Oh, it's awesome. It's awesome. He's a great guy, and incredible talent. Incredible talent. One of the best, if not the best, one of the best guards in the league by far. And he's a fantastic teammate, and that's the easiest way to put it. There's a lot of guys in this league that can play the game of basketball, but in the locker room, they may not be the best guy. And I can honestly sit here and say, you know, when I go in the locker room, Gilbert is the guy I look forward to seeing in the morning, and talking to in the morning, interacting with him.
Tony, I want to thank you for your time. Very informative stuff. Thanks so much.
Thank you.